Yeah, now it's there, and yours is there as well. Very good.
Yeah.
Is that your reader?
No.
Are
Yours.
are those meeting notes from you?
No.
No. Okay, then I don't know who they're from. Let me open that up. Hold on one second. Okay. I just needed to make sure that it was recording for us. Now we'll see who it is in chat. It says it's from Stephen. Do you know who Stephen is?
We have a look. I don't remember Stephen.
Okay, let me pull up the Word document. Hold
Hold on.
on. Stephen Kirsch.
Could be. Yeah. Okay.
You'll see the list.
That probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
And hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, nice to see you.
We met on World Values Day. I know
That's
you
right,
probably
we
saw a
did.
lot of people on that day, but so yeah, I was on one of your sessions then. So lovely
You're-
to see you again.
You were one of the reasons why this is starting today.
Oh,
So
okay. Good to know.
yeah. I'm just curious. Do you know Stephen Kirsch?
No.
Okay. Because before we do anything serious, if he doesn't show up, I will kick out his. I don't allow people to record meetings if they're not here.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are wonderful things about AI, and then there are not so wonderful things.
Yeah.
About AI, so.
I've never come across people doing that, but
Oh yeah, I know lots of people who do that.
okay. Without turning up. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Well, they think if they can't come to the meeting, then they just get the notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the logic of it, but it doesn't make sense really if it's a meeting like this, which is meant to be interactive.
Well, number one, that, and number two, if somebody doesn't tell me that ahead of time,
Yeah.
I don't even know who this person is. I don't allow people to record things that I don't even know who it is for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm learning about AI
Already.
each moment. I mean, I didn't know you.
The recording has stopped.
See, I took it out. It
Okay.
says if you don't want it, you can disable it, and it tells you what to do.
Yeah.
So I have disabled it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's no longer in here. And I will have Mark take that out.
If he looks at the notes, which presumably he can, you'll see why he was kicked out.
Yes, if he actually reads the notes that
Yeah.
we've taken, he'll understand why, yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. So you said Annalise is planning to come now?
Well, she booked
Okay.
just before the cutoff time.
All right.
And I sent her a link just in case she didn't get there. There's an automatic. She would have got the email because it.
Okay, that's good.
Automatically, but
And we'll wait a second.
just in case I give her an extra
All right.
link.
Very good.
Have you had some meetings already today?
This is the third. Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a few people on for those?
Yeah, we had 2 and 3 in the first meeting, including Charles. I'm always including Charles as part of the meeting. Not me. I'm not part of the meeting. I'm just facilitating. And then we had this afternoon, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 gentlemen, including Charles. And now we hope Annalisa is coming, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 other people who were originally registered and signed up, but you know how that is. Not everybody who signs up gets here, or their AI gets here, like this Stephen guy. Yeah.
Oh, just send a bot instead of your person. Honestly, it's crazy, isn't it? What a world.
Well, 2 of my staff always, when they come into our meetings, they always run this because if they forget things, that's how they remember. They go back and watch everything again and read the transcripts instead of taking notes.
I had a coaching client once who asked if it was okay if she used her AI to take notes during our session, and she sent me the notes afterwards, and there was reams of it because it was an hour-long session. There was so much, and I just thought, how on earth is that helpful to me? I was just like, it took me less than 5 minutes to do my notes from the session, and then she sent me this great long. Oh my god, it didn't do anything with it, it just like took the notes. So
well, there are some that just do transcription.
Yeah, well, that's what that
word
was.
by word.
Yeah.
What we use here is called Fathom. It does both the
Okay.
transcription and it does a summary.
Okay. Yeah. That
So it does both.
sounds
Yeah.
a lot more helpful than hers was.
Yeah. So you'll be getting in the place I tell you where you can join and go in and look at these things later. Every time there'll be the video, there'll be the link to where it is on YouTube, but there'll also be the summary from Fathom.
Okay.
It says what we talked about
Great.
for people who don't have time to go back and watch the whole video.
Sure. Okay.
So that'll be good. So I think we will get started. And as I said, Charles, I've talked with my tech guy, so I'm giving him the timestamps to take out our opening and closing things. So you and I are not doing
not that bothered
internal
if it's
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. But I don't think we said anything embarrassing. It's just that no one really needs to go, hear our exchanges between the two of us.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's all taken care of. I'll be sending him all those things in the morning. So including this. So now I will start again and say, welcome to our third session on December 11th, 2024. We're so glad you're here. And this is a chance for us to look at AI. As we discussed the last time we saw each other, Lindsay, about not being the people who are the experts and not being the people who are in total fear, but the people in the middle who really want to get something out of this and see how it applies to our values. So what we've been doing is just looking at, we've had 2 sessions before today, so we've looked at 2 different tools, and what we're looking at is to see, you and I've discussed this, and I suppose you and Charles know more about what are our values and how are we able to use something in AI to make us have a bigger impact on the world. So how are we using this for good, making sure it's ethical? And so we're just asking the people who are joining us today to come in and say a little bit about what they know about AI or what they would like to know about AI. I have a list of 10 tools that I've put together, and we've chosen 2 already today, and we can either choose one that you like if you know it and share it, or we can choose one that we haven't looked at yet, because when you go back and watch the recordings, you'll be able to see then all 3 of them. But we'd just like to know, first of all, from you, what are you interested in and how can we help you with AI, and how are you using this to align with your values to make a bigger impact?
Okay. Do you want me to go first? You already heard it from Charles, probably.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay. I'm married to a techie, so AI has been in our house for some time. I have a reasonable understanding of what it can do, and applications of it. I'm learning all the time about how it could be used, and that's where my interest is, really, how AI can be used for good. I'm very familiar with ChatGPT and things like that, and I use apps that have AI in them that just make them smarter and make them more user friendly and so on. So okay with all of that. I don't use any AI tools myself other than those embedded in apps that I use. I did use ChatGPT once for writing a proposal. Found it quite useful for, as long as you ask the right questions, then you get a decent set of responses. So I have tried it out, but I don't personally use it heavily myself. I'm very interested in how AI is starting to be used in the healthcare sector, which is a big part of my work. Rhonda, you told us about the AI for Good conference annually, and I'm really interested in going to that. So I had a look on the website, but I think it just happened, so they haven't got the date for the next one.
Oh, they do have the date for the next one.
I think there wasn't a booking option for the next one. I put on a wait list or something. So
yeah.
So
I will be
interested.
I will be inviting you to our forum on a Mighty Network, which means it's not Facebook and you're not getting spammed and all those things. It's a private system that I pay for. And I will be putting in both the link to this year's AI for Good Summit, but also the link you can book already. I've already booked.
Ah, right. Okay.
To go. I don't know if they're letting you book for online, but I've booked to go in person in July next year, and I've already booked. So I'll be putting those links in. You'll be getting an email about that tomorrow.
Perfect.
Where you'll be able to see when you've joined the platform, all of the things, the links to the videos, all of the tools we look at, all of those things will be in there. because since we're only meeting once a month, always on the second Wednesday of the month, you can also go in between if you have questions, or if you find something that you think is really fascinating, you'd like to share it with the others, then you always have a place to go in. Since we're only meeting once a month, it's great to have a place where we can also have interactions in between as well. And I'll be putting everything in both from 2024 and 2025
Okay. Perfect.
in for,
Okay.
so you could, I will definitely be going. I've already booked to go in July. It's July next year.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's always in Geneva because that's
Geneva.
where the ITU is.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. So Charles, for Lindsay's benefit, you get to say this for the third time now, but you say it slightly differently every time, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because I haven't really quite memorized it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised to know that I'm really the same as her in many ways. I am aware of AI. I've taken part in lots of discussions, when I say lots, a number of discussions about AI and ethics, AI and values, which have tended to be, I guess, sort of balanced pretty evenly between negative comment and positive comment. So, you know, you get plenty of people who are very worried, very fearful, very negative. And I guess just see it in another way that, you know, in addition to the internet and social media and everything else, the way we're having our lives intruded upon and interfered with in ways that we sort of can't really cope with very easily. But a lot of people are positive about it. But I'm interested, obviously, in positive uses of AI, and also interested, like Lindsay said, in specific uses that might really work, particularly to make one's life simpler in administrative ways, but also obviously to get out the word on values and through the various channels that one is involved with. And we already discussed a little bit very briefly, one of the things I'd really love to do with World Values Day, hopefully next year, and I've promised it to a few people, so I probably need to start to try and deliver on it, is to find a way of trying to take World Values Day as a campaign into more languages. I mean, even every language, I don't know if that's possible, but I'm told by people that have, you know, used translation services. I mean, I've used, you know, Google Translate and all simple stuff, but have used slightly more sophisticated services that it isn't very difficult. And I can see that's probably true, but there's quite a lot of elements to a campaign. You know, there's videos, there's websites, there's social media, there's you know, resources of various kinds. So anyway, that would be a specific example where it would be very useful. But there are others too. I won't go into them. They're fairly obvious.
Okay. Well, Charles, after the last meeting that you and I were in together, I just got the announcement. I knew it was coming, but now it's officially on the market. OpenAI, which is the family that ChatGPT belongs to, has opened their video generating machine called Sora, where you write a text in and it makes a video for you.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you spelling Sora?
Let me open a window and I'll put it in here so you can see it, because we always look at one new thing, and I haven't, because I just got the official announcement. I've heard aloud about it even before it came out. So let me open this and share it with you, and I'll put the link in the chat, and it will also be then in the notes that we have afterwards. I'm copying this for a moment.
I've been impressed by there's a few tools that generate podcasts, just audio only podcasts, from, if you feed them in lots of information about yourself or your product or whatever, they will produce a very lively, authentic sounding podcast with real sounding people saying, "Oh, that's terribly interesting. And Charles has done that. Oh, yeah." You know, so there's lots of sort of chatty stuff going on. And I guess they do something like that through video, but animated or animated figures, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see.
This is what it's doing. So the prompt says a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street, etc., etc., etc. Okay, it just blurred. Hold on, I suppose there are a lot of
sort of scenario, right? A screenplay, and it
puts the gold rush in California.
Yes.
And at some point, this should pop open as a video. As I said, unfortunately, I'm working on a tablet and not on my regular computer because it got canned by Microsoft this past week. But when I looked at this before, it actually opens video if I had the capacity, and it would show this truck driving as a video.
Yeah. Okay. I think I
Okay.
get it. So it's using stock, well, presumably
No,
free video,
generating this.
generating the
It's
video,
not. It's
generating the images. Okay.
creating its own video based on what you put in the prompt.
Okay. That's
It's not stock. Yeah,
that sounds pretty good.
that's
I can think
yeah.
of just so many uses for that, really. We've just finished spending a ton of money for Human Values Foundation on constructing a video for our programs. I mean, I don't think that would replace it, but it certainly could augment it. You know, it's a bit of difference between a machine doing it and a very experienced BBC producer or camera, you know, team. But I'm sure it will learn rapidly. Yeah, interesting.
I've seen what appear to be AI generated YouTube videos of, you know, like a seasonal scene. So either a Christmassy scene or an autumny scene or a snowy scene or whatever, with music playing. And it really does look like it's been created. You know, I don't know whether it's AI that's done it or whether somebody's done it manually, but it looks like it's been created, you know, because it's just so perfect and little snowdrops falling, and so, you know, it's interesting. So there's quite a few things like this happening. So it's very interesting. But and I guess, you know, if you could use a system like that to create your own ones, then you could choose your own music and choose your own picture, and that would be great.
There are AI tools that create music for you as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that. You put in what kind of music you like, or you compare it to, I don't know, classic or rock or whatever you like, and you put in things and it makes it for you.
Be your own Steven Spielberg. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, this thing, as I said, people have been waiting for Sora for a very long time. People have been talking about Sora for months and months and months now. And I just saw, this was the first time today, maybe it was out before, I just didn't notice it because of the handicap I've had with my computer for the past week, but I saw this today and then I went online and it is now actually officially open. So you could actually go in now and just write the text about the gold rush and then get that nice video that we just saw.
If they haven't been overwhelmed by people hitting the website, which is, I guess, like it was with ChatGPT, I think, when they first opened it to the public.
Well, and the nice thing is, because now so many people already know who OpenAI is, and every time it says OpenAI is making an announcement about whatever, then all kinds of people are jumping on it now because they want to see what the next great thing is that OpenAI is putting out. And as I said, this is now officially on the market, which is great. And the question for us is, no matter which of these things we'd be using and what would be generated out of it, whether it be something like video with Sora or whether it be something else, the question is, how are we going to use that in alignment with our values? Charles and I were discussing before about how co-creation is such an important thing, and the fact that we're all sitting here, but we're also using the AI as another element and to help us co-create. That's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and the reason I suggested that we start this kind of series. But the question is, especially for you, Lindsay, what is it where you think you're looking for things? Because I'm taking notes about things that people are interested in. I'll be researching them and putting them inside this link where I'll be giving you, so you can join the group and then you can always see what's going on there.
Yeah. I don't know what's possible. I know in the world of coaching where I, you know, spend most of my life, you know, there's a lot of talk about how AI can, you know, replace coaches, because apps programmed with the right, you know, questions can take what somebody says and give them the next question, or give them the, you know, some advice, or give them some coaching or whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen any coaching apps using AI yet, but I'm sure they're being developed. And it seems like it's, you know, quite an interesting development within my industry. In healthcare, I coach a lot of doctors. I have 2 contracts with the NHS. There's definitely some very interesting uses of AI already for, and I think it's starting to come with diagnosis using in health
Yeah.
tech. I think they're
Mhm.
starting to bring in diagnosis, but also it's being used in treatment and medication and monitoring, a lot for monitoring of people's conditions through tech. So yeah, really interested to see what the opportunities are there. And I mean, any opportunities for good is of interest to me, really. What I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the opportunities are yet. So I'm happy to hear about anything really, but anything that is useful to the world and society, then that's good as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm not sure if I mentioned this the last time we spoke, but when I was in Geneva, one of the best things I saw was a seal that was a big stuffed toy, and it had been made by a Japanese company. And when you went past the stand, you could pick up the seal and sort of cuddle it, and it would look at you and make noises and move its ears and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. But it is programmed to be a diagnostic tool for children. So it is actually picking up data from a child as the child interacts with it in a way that it's not a doctor sitting there trying to talk to a 2 or 3-year-old and get it to answer whatever kinds of questions the doctor may have. It is actually an interactive diagnostic tool that looks like a big teddy bear. It's just a seal, but absolutely wonderful. And when you look at it, it makes noises and it reacts and it responds. And then the child naturally responds. And then it takes in all this data and processes it then for the doctor to use afterwards. So those are some things that are going on in the medical field that are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's great. You know, I think those are really, really positive uses of AI, and that's what I'm looking at really. I'm not too interested in all the negativity around AI, and I think if AI makes coaching available to more people and it makes medicine easier for people to access and cheaper for the NHS, then that's, you know, all those are all good things. You know, I don't see it as I think there probably is a threat to jobs in the knowledge industries. I think that's a real threat. But you know, if it's managed well, then there's, you know, plenty of people that are going to be able to use the AI for good stuff, and they'll still need people even if AI is helping us with our jobs. You know, so I don't. We'll just develop in terms of different skills, I guess. So.
Well, and I mean, if you think about, I always give the example of I grew up on a farm, and when my grandfather started the farm, he only had horses, and then at some point he got tractors, and then he didn't have horses anymore. But down the street from me here, there is a little stable that has its own little place where they do like tournaments and things. And in our street, there's also a blacksmith. And if you think in the past of how many blacksmiths there had to be, because everybody was running around with a horse and carriage, and everybody needed, you know, the horse to be shod, you know, however often the horse had to be shod, depending on what it was doing. And the fact that now there are still blacksmiths, but nobody's doing this for a profession for everybody to have a horse. It's just, you know, the recreational side of horses that we now have in the world, but we still have blacksmiths. Or I used to work with actuaries. Even though we have calculators where we can do very mathematical things, we still have mathematicians. You know, but we can all sit down, me especially, we all sit down and use our calculator to do, you know, the very basic things. But the whole point is those things don't disappear. They just change into a different form, or they go from, as I said, from professional to recreational, like with the blacksmith neighbor or something. But I think the important thing to remember is years ago, we were talking about the German post office today, and they're putting up the prices for letters and postcards and things. And I said to my husband, well, they have to do that because they're only sending packages from Amazon now. They're not sending any more letters and postcards, you know? And I mean, it's obvious that prices are going to go up in January. for letters and postcards because the post office is now doing something different. And whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but the post office is adjusting and we're all adjusting. And I saw a wonderful video the other day online where when the Chinese post office is delivering something now, this, where they bring the package to someone's house, it's not a person anymore. It's a robot dog that is inside this little driverless car, and it drives up in front of the house, and the little dog pushes a button and the door opens and it takes out the package and it walks over and delivers the package to the house. There are no people anymore.
Interesting.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? So I mean, it actually the advances in AI in particular just enable us to deal with a much more increasingly complex society, don't they? Really, everything we do is now pretty much, not everything, but large parts of our life, the functionality of our lives is inconceivable to our parents, certainly our grandparents. And if you were having to cope with it without AI, well, first of all, it wouldn't be happening. Secondly, you wouldn't be able, you'd be absolutely overwhelmed. And so I think that's right. I think it enables us to grow in all sorts of directions, economically, culturally, socially. We've already grown socially. Our social reach is just infinitely greater than it was 20 years ago through this medium. And the same, for work, for economists, for everything really. So I think it's has to be embraced. We don't have any choice. But it's coming so fast, isn't it? I mean, just the fact that you're going to make an announcement. I've not heard of this major new thing, the video generating AI called Sora. And yet it's obviously going to be quite big. I mean, and I think it's the first one, isn't it? Because I don't think there's anything.
Well, there are other companies that are doing it, but they don't have the power behind them that OpenAI has.
Are they already with they've already got product on the market, have they?
Yeah.
But and as I say, just this podcast thing just amazed me how good it was. I couldn't totally see the functionality, but I guess to advertise your wares, it's good. But this is just infinitely better. And it'll put people out of work, I guess, initially, but the work will expand because people invent, people are very creative, and there'll be all sorts of new applications of this, which will create new activities.
Exactly.
We didn't have life coaches, I don't think. We had, I don't know, ministers and priests and pastors before. Life coaches. I mean, all these things change very rapidly. We certainly didn't have AI life coaching. We were talking earlier, Lindsay, about AI life coaching apps, which people were using already. And one of the guys who was booked in for this evening but hasn't turned up in America was telling me about this a year ago, and Rhonda knows quite a lot about it too. People he knew were already using these to subcontract part of their coaching process too. So a lot of the follow-up, establishing routines, new behavioral patterns, where there's something repetitive about it, or, very, very easily done through, I guess, AI. But you can imagine not just that, initial consultations, maybe.
Yeah, but if it brings coaching, makes coaching available and accessible to more people, then that's a good thing in my view. There'll still be people that want to do it face to face, but if it means that somebody that can't afford to do it face to face gets to receive some coaching, then brilliant. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Lindsay, can you do me a favor and open the link I just put in the chat? This is the group where you're invited to come. And as I said, everything we've done today, plus all of the updates and the things people have asked about, I'll just be putting in all those things tomorrow. And you can just make sure that the link opens and that you get a chance to join this group.
Yeah.
Free of charge. And then you get the opportunity, as I said, between now and the next time we meet in January, anything that you find or you're interested in or you have a question about, you can come in and just ask in the group, and we can see and make sure that the conversation can continue even when we're not meeting here directly in the group.
So my husband's name's just come up, so that's a bit weird. He must have used this already. I don't know. Is he on there? That's a bit strange. Let's see if it comes up with me. I don't know.
sometimes it comes up, these kinds of systems also come up with things because it sees something in your computer, which may be your husband's, maybe yours. So
I just put my
I'm
name
signing
in.
with your name because I haven't met your husband yet. So
Okay. See if that's worked. Do I need to get mails about the system?
it will give you a chance to set up your notifications. You can say if you want to get notifications every time something happens, or once a day, or once a week, or you can decide how often you'd like to be notified. That's up to you.
Okay. So that says welcome, Lindsay. I think I'm in.
So you're in. Very good. That's very nice, because tomorrow we'll be getting all the videos from all 3 sessions ready. Plus, I'll be putting in the summaries. This Fathom that we're using at the moment, when it finishes, it gives a full transcript, but it also gives a summary. So I'll be putting in summaries for each session as well, besides the videos. And I will be going in, and all the things that we've talked about today, where people have said, what about this and what about that? I will put in the thing from the seal, from the little medical seal for you to look at.
Okay.
And then we'll just keep adding things to this. And as I said, this is not just for me to add things. Anybody can come in and add things as we go along. So that'll be nice. And I will just set up a file that actually says this is our set of AI tools, and just put in the name and with the website, and then a short description of what it does. And then people can go back and check and see what they're interested in as we're going forward. Is there anything else you would like me to include in this list, or ideas for when we do this again in January?
Nothing specific comes to mind at the moment, but I was just going to ask whether I can invite somebody else to join this.
Everybody,
So what would I do? Just send them the link that you just gave me, or
you can send me this link to get in first, and inside the description there's the website. Let me just give you that as well. Then they get all the details. Hold on one second.
Or you can give them the Eventbrite, which gives a link which is slightly less
my website has all the information.
Yeah, Rhonda's got more on her website, obviously. But
wait 1 second. As I said, this little computer is going way over its limits at the moment. There you go. Can you open that page?
Yeah.
Okay. That page has a description of everything that we're doing. And at the bottom, it also has the calendar, so that you can see each month which day we're meeting and which times, and it shows in your time zone. And there's also the link in there for Charles' Eventbrite page for people to register. So it's all on that one page.
Okay, fantastic.
So anybody can go in there, and the link to Compolium is in there as well. So everything that we need is all on one page.
Okay. So I've got, I'm just having a look. Our next meeting is the 8th.
It's always the second Wednesday of the month.
Which is the 8th, I think.
Yeah.
It's come up 2024. That's why I'm just
No,
thinking, where's the 8th gone?
Take the arrow to the next month, and it should come up January.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the 8th at the same time.
It's always the same times.
Our time, 9 o'clock in the morning.
I can't see it on the scheduler yet, but
share your screen, and then I'll help you, because you can probably share your screen more easily than I can, because I've got too much open at the moment. But if you can't, I can try it as well.
Well, you asked me to share the screen.
No, I asked Lindsay because she has it open, if she can share it.
Yeah.
See the little green button at the bottom of the Zoom room? You see a green button that says share? There you go. So now when you see January 2025.
January 2025,
yeah. It's not showing anything. That's strange. Let me go in and look.
I can see it for today, but not for January.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what the problem is. Hold on.
Anyway, I know I can't come to the 1 o'clock one, but I can come to the 6 o'clock one on the 8th.
Okay.
So I can book it on Eventbrite. That's fine.
Let me show you. I'm going to share my screen, and I will show you that on mine it's showing. Can you stop sharing your screen? There we go. Yeah. Because on my screen, it looks like this. So see, it says January. and then it has these 3 dates.
Can't see your screen at the moment. Oh, here it is.
There we go.
Come up.
There it is. Yeah, my computer's slow. Sorry. So this says January 2025, and this
Yeah.
is the 8th, and those are the 3 dates.
Weird. Okay. I don't know what I did wrong there, but
Okay.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
If not, if it doesn't work, if you scroll down, you come to this. This is for Eventbrite, for Charles. And he has this nice thing. And it also has the dates and the times for January, you see?
Oh, now that's interesting. So I just did the right button rather than the month itself, and it's showing now, so that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is, if you go to the Eventbrite, you can actually register and put in your name and
Yeah.
email address. And in mine, it gives you the link to the Zoom and everything. You don't necessarily have to register. We're doing both depending on what people are interested in, what they know
Okay.
already. But all of
Super.
the events, all the dates and times are in both the Eventbrite and Ad Event for the whole next year.
On the
So
page.
always
Okay.
the second Wednesday of the month.
Super. Okay.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
we're all
I
set
shall
for the whole next year.
invite a colleague who I think might be interested.
Excellent. Oh yeah. Keep inviting people. This is one of those things that always starts small, and I love it when things grow organically like this. This is the really best way to do things, I think.
And he gets ridiculously excited about chat GPT. So this is not my husband, this is somebody else, a colleague. He gets ridiculously excited about chat GPT and insists on using it in the middle of meetings to do stuff. It's quite distracting.
Well,
Lovely.
like I said, I don't have to be the only one showing things. If you know somebody like that and he'd like to show us the neatest new thing he knows about ChatGPT, maybe that I don't even know about yet. I'm not the expert. I'm just learning from somebody who's an expert. I have my eyes and ears open all the time, and I'm just gathering all the info I can.
I'm
So.
not sure he's an expert. He's just a bit excitable about the whole thing.
Okay. Well, that's
Lovely.
great. No, go ahead and
Okay.
invite him and send him the page, so he can go through
Yeah.
and look and see. But
I
now
will.
you've been here once. He can definitely come into Compolium. You don't have to have come to this meeting to be in Compolium. Obviously, on the
Okay.
website, you can join as well.
Okay.
And so that's fine. This is open to everyone. We're really making sure that we get a community here because Charles and I are really interested in, as I said, not showing the world how to use AI, about talking about the values and how we're going to make sure that this works in the way that we all believe in because of the importance of values and making sure that this is, not only something that people can use, but something that's really going to change the world and make it a better place, and that we better have a bigger impact just because we can use things in an AI.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Fantastic. I think you should put an AI tool into your email account, Charles, and get it to produce a map of all the countries that you talk to about values, and then we could have that. We've always wanted to have a map of where in the world they're doing values exercises. So I think if you put
I can tell you which one that is. That's called. Well, let me just pull it up. So it's not. I don't know if it's AI, but it's been around for a while, and it's where it's a collaboration tool, but it also has this map functionality. Hold on one second. Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. Because my computer is again saying, don't be doing so many crazy things here.
I don't do many things at once, yeah.
I was in a group once where we use this, and there are these boards, but there is also a map where you can go in.
Padlet, is that it? Padlet.
Oh, here, let me share my screen. I've just found a map. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Share. Look. Is it sharing?
Yeah, it is.
So this is in Padlet.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, this is showing German because I have a German IP address, obviously. Okay. But it's a free tool to use for the basic things. And as I said, people can work together. It's also to collaborate, but they also have this map functionality where people can put in where they're from and what they do and all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works really, really well. Yeah.
we could connect that up with all the social media tools that we use
Yes.
for World Values Day and
I'm sure it could
your
be
World
done.
Values Day email accounts. Somehow we ought to be able to show where the values activities happening around the world. That'd be really good. Lovely. Okay. Well, thank you ever so much, Rhonda. I'm afraid I have to go, but
that's fine. That's
yeah.
good. Yeah. But as I said, tomorrow I'll be getting all the things then into the Compolium page, and you'll be able to start looking and also see from the other 2 sessions this morning. We always, every time we look at a different tool, so people get to see different things. Okay.
No,
Wonderful. Nice seeing you again, Lindsay. Looking forward to next month. Yeah.
You too. Thanks very
All right.
much
Thanks a
indeed.
lot.
Good to see you, Charles.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.
So, Charles, how was our first day?
Yeah, I thought it's been very good, actually. I think, Rhonda, I think it's working well. It's beginning to, well, I think it had a shape already. I wasn't in one of the, probably the right session in the first meet talked about something. I talked about this, but I assume the sessions you had on World Values Day were similar. And I think it's really good. I think it's, it creates an instant I mean, you're facilitating and the approach and the fact that people are interested and they're keen to learn and keen to share as well. I think that creates a very good interaction and as you say, it's collaborative and it's I think people will get a lot out of this if we can. I mean, in a way, we can't get too many of them here. We can certainly cope with more than came today, but I think
sure. But I mean, it's the first time.
Idea is it's probably half a dozen or not many more than that. Just so that everyone can have an opportunity for a say in the space of time. In half an hour, it's hard to deal with more than that. But yeah, I think it's a great format, and I like very much the compolium. I like the word, but I like the compolium.
Let me tell you where compolium comes from, so you don't.
I looked it up on.
Well, no, it doesn't exist. It's my own word.
No, I looked up what you said about it.
Yeah, right.
You gave a little explanation.
Yeah. Well, the fact that a thermopolium, that if you go to Italy and you go.
I think it's in Pompeii that they have that. There's quite a
well, there are a lot of them, but the one that everyone talks about.
No, there are a lot. I thought they found the first one in Pompeii.
Yeah, they found the first ones in Pompeii, but now they have evidence in other places as well. Pompeii is just so well, restored now that they can. But there are other places that have had them as well. But that's why I have on my desk an M4, because that's where they were putting the food. Warm food in these places. And I've been using the phrase food for thought for years and years and years on all of my websites since I don't know how many websites I've had in my life already. And I always said having a place that's communication and community plus a thermopolium was basically the first fast food, go and find out what's happening in the town, because if you stayed, there weren't hotels in that sense. You got a room, but you didn't get any food. So you had to go someplace, and that was local people, and they knew where everything was, and you could get ideas, and you could get help, and you could get warm food.
Good point.
So I thought that's what we need. We need a place for community with communication where everybody can come and get the right food for thought. So that's why I ended up making.
You can choose the food, and you can choose the right mixture of food. So as a metaphor, it works very well. No, I think that's good, and I think the setup is good, and it's easy to navigate.
Yeah.
On that page. So yeah, I think it's all good, Rhonda.
Wonderful. Well, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, I'm going to send everything to Mark tomorrow so that he can set this up. And my second gentleman who takes care of the YouTube, we'll be putting this picture that we have on the web page with the two with the man and the kid and the robot. That will be on the top of the playlist. So people will always recognize it when they go in. It's that series of videos, and then each one will be set up individually, and it will always have the time listed on it. So first, second session, third session on a particular date. So people will be able to go back and check what it is that they missed, or to watch something again if they remembered when they were there. And as I said, the summaries will then be in Compolium, and the links to the videos on the YouTube page, so everybody will have access to everything.
Great.
Wonderful.
I think it's fantastic. And that'll be, you'll be sending that, you said tomorrow, which seems...
I hope I get it done tomorrow. My gentlemen, I've told them I have to download all the videos because I get them in Fathom, but they can't download.
I mean, tomorrow you'll be doing very well to do it tomorrow, but anyway, tomorrow or Friday, yeah.
No, I've got a lot of extra time tomorrow morning. I try not to schedule after a day like this. I try to schedule some free time on the next day because I know there's a lot of follow-up that we have to get done. Yeah. And I can put the things in Compendium even if the links are ready to the YouTube yet. That may be a day later, depending on when the guys get around to it. But we spoke about that today because I have my team meetings on Wednesday as well. So I can always tell them what's happening on the days that we do our sessions, and then they know what's coming up. So they know there's one more video being made now, and tomorrow we should have everything ready. And I will definitely be putting the things in tomorrow in Compendium, also the links to all of these different tools. And I will be looking up things like Marshall Goldsmith's AI and all of those things to put in there, things that we've discussed, even though we didn't show it today during the video itself.
And I'll be having a go at Sora, I would expect.
Yeah, definitely.
We probably won't be able to stop doing it. I love that idea.
Wonderful.
Good.
Well, then thank you so much. And if I don't personally talk to
Ron.
you again, have a wonderful holiday season. And I'm not traveling. If anything comes up, you could let me know.
Yeah,
and
I'll be around.
On the 8th of January.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.